Hello, we're starting a live video. We're here, Vets for Vets, very exciting. My name is Tessa and I'm in Portland right now. I wish you guys could see this beautiful view from my hotel room. It's fall up here, which is awesome and exciting for me because I'm from LA and we don't really have fall down there. So I've been part of Vets for Vets for almost 4 years now, I think. Like I said, I'm from LA, born and raised. I lived in Seattle for 4 years and I was a member of the Seagals, which is the Seattle Seahawks cheerleaders. I loved it so much. It was so fun. And I joined Vets for Vets after I was a cheerleader through some friends of mine who were also Seagals, and I've really enjoyed being part of it. But as my full-time job, I work in LA as a TV writer. So if you guys have any questions about Vets for Vets, about cheerleading, about dancing, about being a TV writer, whatever you want, go ahead and ask me anything. I also have some pre-prepared questions for you guys, so I can tell you a little bit about myself and hopefully get some interesting questions from you guys. So let's get started. The first question I've already answered. Look how ahead of the game I am. What sports team did you dance for and how long were you on the team? So I was a Seagal for 2 years. Basically, I had never been a football fan. I'd never been to a football game before I started cheerleading. I just had a friend who said, you should audition on a whim, and I did, and I was lucky enough to make the team. And my very first NFL game ever was on the sidelines. So that was pretty crazy and really fun. I mean, there's nothing like being on the sidelines of an NFL game, especially in the Seattle Seahawks stadium, which is insane and loud. CenturyLink is the best stadium in the NFL. It was so fun. So I had a great time doing that. And the next question is, what were some of your favorite memories as a cheerleader? There are so many. If you do it for 2 years, there's just so many events and so many fun things you get to do. But without a doubt, the first thing that comes to mind, my favorite thing that we ever did was my first year. We had a game that actually fell on Halloween. So we got to do an entire Halloween halftime show, which was such a blast. And we learned the original choreography of Thriller, which is amazing. It's like part of dance history. So getting to learn that was incredible. And we did Thriller, and we also did a section of the theme song that you guys would recognize if you heard it from A Nightmare Before Christmas, the Tim Burton movie. So dancing around in we were wearing masks and tutus and all this crazy stuff. We don't get to usually wear crazy costumes, and getting to be a little bit spooky and perform in that way was such a blast. And you get to kind of put on this character that we don't usually get to do on the sidelines. So that was probably my favorite, and Halloween is my favorite holiday. So that was probably my favorite memory. Another great thing we did was, I'm trying to think, there's so many good ones. I got to go to Hong Kong and dance in the Chinese New Year parade, which was amazing. And I had been to Hong Kong before, actually, so getting to go back a second time in a very different capacity was really, really amazing. And we got to dance literally in the streets of Hong Kong, just dancing around in our uniforms and our palms, and we got to meet so many cool and interesting people and try the exotic food and stay in a really nice hotel. So that was an absolute blast. And probably my favorite part about being in Hong Kong was taking a bus out to the villages to get to see what, it's less touristy, it's like real Hong Kong, and get to meet some of the locals and see what that was like. See a little bit of more of the rural countryside was amazing, and definitely an experience that I wouldn't have had without Seagals. So that's one of my favorite memories. But there's a lot of them. If anyone else has any questions, by the way, questions about Hong Kong, questions about what else you get to do as an NFL cheerleader, what it's actually like, feel free to ask at any time. I'm happy to answer. So let's see, what kind of events does Vets for Vets do? So if you're just joining and you don't know anything about Vets for Vets, we're a nonprofit organization, a group of girls who are veteran cheerleaders and dancers. Oh, hi, Taryn, by the way. We're all veterans, and we do different various events to support vets. What up? And so it's a really cool organization. I love being a part of it. And usually the kind of stuff we do, we do races a lot. That's what I just did. I forgot to tell you guys, this morning we just went on a race. This is look at my little, it was so cold and so rainy, guys. I almost died because I'm from LA. I'm literally still drinking my tea to try and warm myself up because I can barely feel my toes. But it was really fun, and there were actual vets there. I mean, we have John, he's a vet, so I guess we're always with a vet, but it was really fun to get to support the vets. Even if it's cold, it's worth it, you know. And it was on an old Fort Vancouver, I think is what it's called. It's an old fort which is no longer functioning, but it feels historical. It feels, I mean, it's beautiful. The trees, again, the fall. I'm very impressed with the fall. But it was a great run. We do a lot of stuff like that, and we do a lot of visits to VA hospitals, which is it's my favorite thing that we do. Getting to see vets, it's incredible. Getting to thank them face to face is not something you get to do that often. So, and we do other events, but those are the ones that I'm mostly involved in. Anytime they're in LA, or sometimes I get flown to Portland, which is really cool. So the next question, what surprises you the most when meeting military veterans? So, every single girl says this, but it's just so true. It's so surprising how happy they are to meet us, because I feel like I'm not even a cheerleader anymore. I'm just a regular person, just happy and so grateful to meet them. It's shocking to me that they're impressed by anything that I do at all, because they've led such impressive lives. But it's amazing. They're so grateful that we've taken the time, and it's always really, really rewarding to go meet and talk to vets. So it's definitely the most surprising thing. What events do you enjoy the most as a member of Vets for Vets? I've already answered this, but I'll say it again because it's so true. It's so amazing to get to go to a VA hospital and talk to vets face to face and hear their stories, just listen to what they have to say. Or sometimes they don't want to talk at all and they just want to hear our stories about cheerleading, something innocuous and silly and fun, because you know, they want to be entertained. So I love going to VA hospitals. It's definitely a great way to spend your time. And if you guys can check out I think we have some videos or photos of girls doing that in the past. If you guys want to check that out, you should definitely go check out our Instagram or on Facebook. It's very cool. It's a cool experience, to be sure. What do you do for fun outside of performing or community service? What do I do for fun? So I still dance a lot, even though that was my job at one point. Now mostly I just dance in LA for fun. I take classes. There's a great studio that I'll give a shout out to called Edge Performing Arts Center in Los Angeles. They have incredible commercial dance classes. So mostly I take ballet because that's my background. I'm a ballet dancer. I try and do some pointe, but it's tough when you're not in the game anymore. And I also take some contemporary, some jazz. So mostly I dance. I just started a new hobby, which is a little bit crazy, and I'll blame my boyfriend, but I just started climbing, which is really, really fun. And it's great because I like to go outdoors. I like to go to beautiful spots and be adventurous and hike around. So it's a great excuse to get outside, and sometimes we'll go climbing in Malibu cliffs, which is beautiful, and it's kind of a little bit of rush of adrenaline, which is fun, but it's not actually dangerous because you always have your rope, you always trust your gear. But sometimes we'll climb inside, we'll do what's called bouldering, so that's a new hobby that I've taken up. I like to do anything that's like active, you know, keeps you fit. Aside from that, I write a lot. I'm writing a novel. So as I said, I'm a TV writer, but I also write in my free time. I'm writing a novel, which is a sort of sci-fi novel. John also loves sci-fi, but we're big fans. So hopefully you will be seeing my name on the bookshelves not too long from now, but we'll see. Do you have any funny stories or behind the scenes Vets for Vets info? Let's think. So my funniest story is probably so ridiculous. So Vets for Vets was kind enough to fly me out to Sacramento, I think is where I flew into San Francisco. And we had all these events planned. This is last year for Veterans Day. We had all these events planned. Oh no, it was Memorial Day is what it was. So it wasn't even like during flu season, but it's like summer, it's beautiful out. They flew me to San Francisco. I spent a few days in the city before I even did any Vets for Vets events, just hanging out and enjoying San Francisco. And then we had all these events planned for that Monday, because it was Memorial Day Monday. And so I get to the hotel, I meet all the other girls for Vets for Vets. We're getting all excited, you know, we have our shirts, we're all chatting. We had dinner that night and it was so fun, and I'm like so excited. I was supposed to go do a race the next morning, which I love to run, so I'm all excited. And then I wake up in the middle of the night, sick as a dog, and I couldn't even leave the hotel room. I was so sick, and they had spent all this money, gotten me this nice hotel room, flown me out there, and I spent the entire day in the bathroom just with the worst food poisoning. It was terrible, and then I had to stay another night because I couldn't even leave. So that's my most embarrassing and funniest Vets for Vets story. Luckily today I raced without any incident, so that was fun, and I'm glad that I actually got to do something this time. Oh, and so we have a question. Someone's asking if I have an Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram. It's Tessa Shea, which is my middle name. Tessa Shea W is my Instagram account. I also started kind of a joke, funny Instagram account if you have any interest. It's about climbing. It's kind of about how funny climbing is. It's like a little cult. It's called Almighty Stone, which is ALL Mighty Stone. So if you guys want to check that out, if you're any climbers out there, want to take a look, then go ahead. And if there are any other questions, feel free to ask them or contact us on our website, on our Instagram account, on Facebook. We're always looking to make connections and do new and exciting events. You guys can check out our schedule online on our website, or ask any questions. Contact John. He's happy to put you in touch with me or any of the other girls, and we're always happy to ask questions. Our website is vets4vetsnw.com, and that is VETS for the number VETSNW.com. Vets4vetsnorthwest.com. Thanks for watching, everyone, and hopefully you'll see lots of pictures of the race and the other exciting Portland events that we're doing tonight and tomorrow. See ya!